I mean, I had one problem with Franklin. Should I tell him the problem?
Sure.
She's saying, uh-oh.
Well, he got 80% of the white evangelical Christian vote in the end, which was higher than many people feared may be the case. What in the end do you think drove the white evangelicals out to vote for him?
The people that believe in God and worship God and read and study the scriptures and believe the Bible to be the Word of God. And it transcends whiteness. I mean, there's people of all races. And it's just, this is the group of people that stood behind him. And I just, and I thank God for that. But Trump resonated with them. And he defends them.
President Trump, that you would give him wisdom, strength, and a clear vision for the future of this nation and the task that is at hand. Continue to protect him from his enemies. I pray that you would surround him with men and women who will give him sound counsel and guidance.
Donald Trump and Franklin Graham, two powerful figures whose influence has shaped the realms of American politics and religion. Together, they formed an alliance that has weathered controversy and criticism. Franklin Graham, son of the legendary evangelist Billy Graham, has been instrumental in rallying Christian voters to support Trump, playing a crucial role in his ascent to the presidency. But here's the twist. Donald Trump isn't entirely happy with Franklin Graham right now. Why? Consider this. Trump has publicly lauded Billy Graham as one of the greatest spiritual leaders of all time, even sharing memories of attending Billy's iconic rallies at Yankee Stadium with his father. Franklin, too, has stood unwaveringly by Trump, praying for him, defending him, and endorsing him when many in the Christian community were skeptical. Yet today, their relationship appears to be under strain. Is it something Franklin said or did? Or is there a deeper reason for Trump's dissatisfaction? Let's unpack this fascinating dynamic, exploring Franklin Graham's critical role in Trump's rise to power and the unexpected reason behind the tension. Franklin Graham, the architect of evangelical support for Trump. Franklin Graham isn't just a preacher, he's a global leader. As the head of Samaritan's Purse and the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, Franklin wields enormous influence, particularly among evangelical Christians. When Trump announced his candidacy, his colorful past and unconventional demeanor raised eyebrows in Christian circles. Could this brash businessman with a history of scandals really represent Christian values? Franklin thought so. He believed Trump was uniquely positioned to champion causes dear to evangelicals' religious freedom, pro-life policies, and support for Israel, including the historic decision to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. Franklin's endorsement wasn't just symbolic, it was a rallying cry to millions of Christians. His advocacy helped solidify Trump's support among a voting bloc that proved crucial to his victory. A bond beyond politics. The relationship between Trump and Franklin Graham has been more than political, it's personal. Franklin didn't back Trump out of mere party loyalty. He saw a leader who could protect Christian values in a rapidly changing culture. For Trump, Franklin's unwavering support has been both strategic and deeply meaningful. During his rallies, Trump has frequently praised Franklin and shared heartfelt stories about his connection to the Graham family legacy. He's even gone so far as to compare Franklin to his father, Billy, a man Trump has described as a towering spiritual figure. But no relationship is without its challenges. The rift. A moment of tension. Franklin Graham's influence extends beyond the pulpit. He isn't afraid to offer advice, even to a president. On one occasion, Franklin reportedly gave Trump some counsel that didn't sit well. While the exact nature of the advice remains unclear, insiders suggest it may have touched on Trump's tone or actions, an area where Franklin has encouraged a more humble approach. For a man like Trump, who values loyalty and often expects it to mean unwavering agreement, this advice might have felt like a rebuke. Could this moment have planted the seeds of tension? Or is the friction rooted in broader political or personal disagreements? The bigger picture, despite any current unease, the relationship between Trump and Franklin Graham underscores a larger story about faith, politics, and power in America. Franklin's efforts to secure evangelical support for Trump reshaped the political landscape, highlighting the profound impact of religious leaders on national elections. And yet, this alliance also raises questions. How do leaders like Franklin Graham navigate the delicate balance between spiritual convictions and political pragmatism? What happens when those convictions lead to difficult conversations, even with a friend as influential as Donald Trump? The answers are complex, and the story is still unfolding. What's clear is that Franklin Graham remains a powerful voice in American Christianity, and Donald Trump knows the weight that voice carries. As their relationship continues to evolve, one thing is certain: this unlikely partnership will remain a defining chapter in the intersection of religion and politics. Now, let's hear from Franklin himself. What motivated him to back Trump? And what does he make of this new chapter in their alliance? Stay tuned. You won't want to miss this.
Well, he got 80% of the white evangelical Christian vote in the end, which was higher than many people feared may be the case. What in the end do you think drove the white evangelicals out to vote for him?
Listen, Piers, it's not the white evangelicals. It's black evangelicals, Latino evangelicals, the people that believe in God and worship God, and read and study the scriptures and believe the Bible to be the Word of God. And it transcends whiteness. I mean, there's people of all races, and it's just, this is the group of people that stood behind him, and I just and I thank God for that. But Trump resonated with them, and he defends them, and religious freedom is a big issue. And when you look at the left, and they're trying to take the freedoms that we enjoy, Trump defends us. Like Christmas in 2016, he brought back saying "Merry Christmas," and we think that's a little thing, but it's not a little thing. It's a big thing. It's the tip of an iceberg.
So the Graham family has forged powerful and prayerful relationships with U.S. presidents for decades. And from his revivals to the White House lawn, presidents like Ford, Carter, Bush, and Clinton say that Reverend Billy Graham kept them humble. Reverend Graham even carrying out 3 inaugural invocations or benedictions for 2 presidents.
And now his son, Reverend Franklin Graham, carries on this tradition with the power of prayer and counsel for President-elect Donald Trump, with whom he prayed at the Republican National Convention this past summer, you may remember.
Over the
President
years,
Trump,
Donald Trump
that you would give
and
him
Franklin
wisdom,
Graham have built a bond
strength,
rooted in
and a
mutual
clear
respect.
vision
Franklin,
for the future
as
of
a
this
spiritual
nation.
leader
And the
advocate
task
for
that is at
Christian
hand
values,
continues
has been
to
a steady
protect him
presence in
from
Trump's
his
life,
enemies.
offering prayers,
I pray that you would
support,
surround
and
him
even
with men
standing
and
by his
women who will
side
give
during
him
pivotal moments,
sound counsel
like
and
Trump's
guidance.
swearing in ceremony. Their relationship seemed unshakable, with Trump often acknowledging Franklin's influence and wisdom. Trump has even joked about how much he values Franklin's advice, saying it's hard to argue with someone so universally respected in the Christian community. But recently, a small bump appeared on the otherwise smooth road of their relationship. It all started with a heartfelt note. Franklin Graham, ever the gentleman, reached out to Trump with a specific piece of advice. In the note, Franklin expressed his admiration, but also shared a concern. He wrote, "Mr. President, I love your storytelling. It's one of your greatest strengths. But could you do me one favor? Stop using foul language. It won't make your stories any less powerful." Now, imagine being Donald Trump, known for his unfiltered style and larger-than-life personality, reading that note. He admitted it caught him off guard. Franklin's words were gentle, not accusatory, but they carried weight. Trump even joked that his stories just aren't the same without his signature colorful language. Here's where the story takes a surprising turn. Instead of brushing off the advice, Trump took it to heart. He's been making an effort to tone down his language, not because he's a different man overnight, but out of respect for Franklin. Think about that for a moment. For a man like Trump, who thrives on being unapologetically himself, this is a significant gesture. It speaks to the depth of his regard for Franklin Graham, a man whose quiet conviction can inspire change even in the boldest of personalities. This moment, small as it might seem, reveals something profound about their relationship. Franklin Graham's influence doesn't come from force or condemnation. It stems from his sincerity and his ability to speak truth with love. Trump, for all his bravado, recognized that their bond isn't just about politics or shared platforms, it's about a mutual respect that allows for honest conversations, even when they're uncomfortable. So, while there may have been a bump in the road, it's clear that their friendship is far from broken. Instead, it's evolving, marked by moments like this, that remind us of the power of gentle persuasion and genuine respect. As the story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the relationship between Donald Trump and Franklin Graham remains a fascinating and deeply human tale of faith, influence, and the surprising ways even the strongest personalities can grow.
I mean, I had one problem with Franklin. Should I tell him the problem?
Sure.
She's saying, uh-oh.
It's a great one.
No, but I was telling, I tell stories to it. We have these big rallies. Last night we had a great rally at Madison Square Garden. And sometimes I'll use a little bit, not hard foul, but soft foul. We call it soft foul. But, to emphasize something about somebody's capabilities or whatever I might be talking about. And I got a letter from Franklin, and I met him at the airport. It was on a visit that I made to North Carolina. At the airport, he was there with his planes and everybody, a lot of people. Boy, he gets such great volunteers. They're really going. So anyway, I got a letter a couple of days later, and he says, Mr. President, it's Franklin Graham, and I just want to tell you, I love what you do, I love what you say, I love your stories, I think they're great, and keep telling them, but they'd be even better if you wouldn't use foul language. And I went, true. I said, ooh. And I didn't know, I wasn't sure, was I supposed to be honored or not? And but he said the foul language, so I thought about it. And I said, I'm going to try. And I did try. And I'm not sure I'd make the emphasis quite as good. I've been pretty good about it. But I'm not sure. Every once in a while you need a little bit of something, a little spice to juice them up a little bit. But I got that letter and I sort of laughed. I said, I'm not sure you're right about this, Franklin, but I'm going to give it a shot. But he's done a fantastic job.
Trump paints such a vivid picture of the moment. Franklin Graham gently suggested he dialed down the soft, foul language during his rallies. Franklin didn't criticize or condemn, he encouraged, offering a mix of praise and constructive advice. Trump's reaction? Classic Trump. He jokes about not knowing whether to feel honored or reprimanded. Then, in true form, he gives it a shot, but admits that sometimes a little spice is needed to juice them up. How relatable is that? We've all had moments where someone gives us advice that feels a bit out of left field, but it's coming from a place of care. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good story with a little extra zing? Franklin's advice wasn't just about words, it was about influence. By asking Trump to tone down his language, Franklin gently reminded him of the high standard people hold him to, especially within the Christian community. Trump's candid humor and willingness to reflect on the advice show a side of him that's both human and self-aware. And it's not just about language, it's about leadership. Whether he's at a rally or talking about his relationship with God, Trump knows the weight his words carry. His declaration that God is the ultimate and his reflections on the Bible remind us all of the importance of faith, no matter where we are in life. It's a powerful reminder of how faith and freedom are intertwined in the American story. No matter how powerful or accomplished we are, we all face moments when we look to God for guidance, strength, and clarity. What do you think about Franklin Graham's advice to Trump? Do you agree that stories can still be powerful without spice, or do you think a little flavor is sometimes necessary? And how do you feel about Trump's reflections on faith and his relationship with God? We'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy these kinds of discussions about faith, leadership, and life's big questions, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story. Together, let's keep exploring the incredible ways faith shapes our world.